Welcome to Biology Chemistry. This is Unit 2, all about measurement, and this is Lesson 1, which is entitled Measurement. So the first thing we're going to do is define measurement. And measurement can be defined as a method used to describe objects or events using numbers and units. So when we talk about objects, we're talking about a piece of matter, something that is physical, or events would be time. So we always have a number and then we have to have a unit that follows it. So time is a good example. Other examples could be temperature, liquid amounts, we could have length, we could have mass, and we could keep on going with all different examples. Now, over and throughout history, there have been different systems of measurement. So we're going to kind of lump all the old methods into one category. And a lot of times these were based on ancient units, or they were based on royalty. So if we were talking about a foot, that would be the king's foot. But that runs into problems because a lot of times kings didn't last for that long. So they're either thrown out or they would pass away. So it would change a lot. Ancient units were based on just a little community. So if you wanted to trade between different communities, it would be really hard to do that because they would have different systems of measurement. So this was not consistent. And it was hard to trade since cultures use different systems. So along came somebody and they decided, well, we're going to adopt and standardize systems into one system so it's really easy to trade. And at the time that this was going on, England was a very, very powerful nation. So they spread a lot of their culture throughout the world, either willingly or unwillingly. And a lot of the measurements were used to be able to trade or because the English conquered a land. So this was the first attempt to standardize or bring them all together, have a system that everyone can use, other systems. And this one was used for a long time. And this is a system that is used by the US. So this is the one that we still use, although we're one of the only countries that still use this. I think there's 3 total. But there are some problems with this one. It's not very consistent. And what I mean about that is it's hard to use. So if you look at something like, well, there's 12 inches in a foot, and there's 5,280 feet in a mile, and there's 3 feet in a yard, and 1,760 yards in a mile, where do we get those numbers from? It's not easy. You just have to memorize them. Like there's 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, but 4 quarts in a gallon. Why aren't there 2 quarts in a gallon? There's no consistency. It goes 2, 2, 4. Doesn't make sense. So the SI system, which we know as the metric system, was developed. And this was around 1800 in France, and it's nearly universal. And the big thing here is it's used in science. So this is the one that we use in science class. One, because it is almost universal, and it's easier to use because it's based on the number 10. And we end up with a system of base units and prefixes. So these are the 4 different SI quantities that we're going to talk about. And we're just going to go over their name and symbol. So the unit name for length is the meter. And its symbol is a little m. Not a big M, but a little m. Mass is a gram, and it is a little g, a lowercase g. Volume is the liter, and this one's a capital L. The reason it's a capital is because a lowercase l looks like a 1. And time is in seconds, which is a lowercase s.